All right, welcome. Let's get right to it. For the next few minutes, we are stepping into a C-suite masterclass. What we're going to do is distill decades of absolutely essential wisdom from the Harvard Business Review into a single actionable framework, a leadership pyramid built for people who are serious about making a real impact. And let's be crystal clear about where this is coming from. What you're looking at isn't just a handful of articles. It's a blueprint for executive leadership, engineered by the absolute titans of the field. We're talking Peter Drucker, Michael Porter, Daniel Goleman, and Clay Christensen. So look, our goal here isn't just to give you a summary. It's to forge these powerful ideas into a unified system for driving hard, measurable results. So let's start by cutting right through all the noise, all the management fads, and asking the one single question that really matters. What is a leader's one singular job? To get results. That's it. Full stop. Daniel Goleman put it that plainly, and that right there, that's the bedrock of everything we're talking about today. It's not about being popular, it's not about maintaining the status quo, it's about delivering. Everything we build today is in service of that one mandate. So, here's how we're going to break this down. We'll start with that core leader's mandate, then we'll build our pyramid from the ground up, first, mastering your inner game, then amplifying your impact on others. After that, we'll tackle defining the playing field, and we'll wrap it all up with a concrete leadership action plan you can use immediately. The core idea of this entire explainer is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Leadership that lasts, it's not about mastering one single skill. It's a hierarchy. It's built in layers. And the absolute foundation of that hierarchy, it's you. And that brings us right to the base of our pyramid, mastering your inner game. Look, this is the non-negotiable starting point. Before you can even think about managing a team or a division or a strategy, you have got to be able to effectively manage yourself. Peter Drucker, the father of modern management, he gave us the cornerstone for this, managing oneself. And this isn't some fuzzy self-help exercise, okay? This is about strategic self-deployment. Do you really know your strengths, your core values, how you actually perform at your best? Answering these isn't just introspection. It's the absolute prerequisite to leading anyone, anywhere. And this is where Jim Collins' Level 5 hierarchy really frames the journey. You don't just wake up one day as a Level 5 executive, that incredible blend of deep personal humility and fierce professional will. No way. You have to earn it. You have to master every single level below it, starting at the very bottom as a highly capable individual. And listen, you can't skip steps. You just can't. So once that foundation of self-mastery is solid, we can move up to the next layer of the pyramid, amplifying your impact. This is where your leadership turns outward, and it forces you to ask yourself maybe the single toughest question in business. Really, why should anyone be led by you? Now, the answer, it's not what you think. It's not about projecting some image of superhuman perfection. In fact, it's the exact opposite. As Golfi and Jones put it so brilliantly, it's about revealing your humanity, showing a weakness, being vulnerable. That's what builds trust. It shows your team you're real. Think about it. If you're perfect, why would you need followers? And this is precisely where Daniel Goleman's work on emotional intelligence becomes your essential toolkit. Yeah, it's about self-awareness and empathy, of course, but the real game changer here is tough empathy. This isn't about being mean. It's about caring enough about your people to give them what they need to grow, like candid feedback or a project that stretches them, not just telling them what they want to hear. Now, if you think all this sounds like soft stuff, let's talk about the real-world cost when it's ignored. Take Timberland's travel gear line. It was an amazing product, won design awards, the whole shebang, but it failed miserably. Why? It wasn't a product failure. It was a people failure. The R&D team developed it in a silo without including the mainstream business teams. That's a failure of leadership, plain and simple. Okay, so once you've mastered yourself and how you lead others, we can finally move to the top of the pyramid, defining the playing field. This is strategy. This is where you leverage your self-mastery and your people skills to set the direction for the entire organization. That deep self-awareness that Drucker preached, that becomes the raw fuel for the unique strategy that Porter demands. And Michael Porter gives us the critical distinction here. Think of it this way. Operational effectiveness is about running the same race faster than everyone else. It's about best practices, efficiency, and you need it for sure. But strategy, that's about choosing to run a completely different race. It's about being unique, not just being the best, because competing only on effectiveness is a guaranteed race to the bottom. And that's exactly why we have to understand Clay Christensen's work on disruption. Because true strategic leadership isn't just about winning in today's market. It's about anticipating the forces that are going to completely reshape it tomorrow. It's about understanding how some small, scrappy startup can come out of nowhere, serve a customer base you've ignored, and then move up and completely flip your entire industry on its head. Okay, theory is one thing, but results come from action. So let's turn all this incredible insight into a plan you can execute, like right now. We're going to transform insight into immediate impact. All right, here's your mandate. Your first 30 days. Within the next 24 hours, ask Drucker's classic question, what needs to be done now, and just pick one critical thing. Within 7 days, get the courage to ask your direct reports that tough question, why should anyone be led by you? And then shut up and just listen. And within 30 days, get your leadership team in a room for one reason only, to have a brutal, honest debate about whether what you're doing is real strategy or just operational effectiveness. You know, we started this whole conversation with a leader's job. Let's end it with a leader's life. After developing all his theories about business, Clayton Christensen turned them inward and asked this one final, profound question. Because in the end, the principles that build great, enduring companies are the exact same principles that build meaningful lives. The strategy you set in the boardroom is inextricably linked to the legacy you leave behind. If you found this strategic breakdown valuable, help us empower more leaders. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dive executive explainers just like this one. Thank you.